Hey guys, Dom here, and welcome back to Fallout 3. Just not in a way we expected. Now, just in case you've been living inside of a vault for the last few days, Bethesda have released their latest piece of content regarding Creation Club. Now, normally I avoid Creation Club like the plague. I only really get something from Creation Club if it's free, like the Skyrim Armour and quest line within Fallout 4, where you go on a quest following the actor who plays Grognak the Barbarian in a TV adaptation of the famous Fallout comic, who then loses his mind and starts to believe that he is actually the character living as a barbarian, and in turn creates a character within himself strikingly familiar to Dovahkiin himself, to which at the end of said quest we will retrieve the iconic armor and steel sword as a reward. So similar to that, Bethesda have now released a quest line which takes us back to a fully remastered version of Fallout 3's GNR Plaza. Now again, as I said, I normally avoid Creation Club content, but this time I had the urge, I had to dive in and report on this particular piece of content, seeing as Fallout 3 isn't just my favorite Fallout game, it's also my favorite game altogether. And with people's hopes and expectations for Bethesda Game Studios to release a fully realized remaster from top to bottom of Fallout 3, I just had to check this out. And of course, to answer the question of is this piece of content worth paying for or not? So with that, let's get to just that. The price of this content. Now today I just solely want to concentrate on the GNR content and not any of the weapon packs or any of the customizable vault suits that came with this update. As I said, I'm not really interested in any of those cosmetic pieces of content. So the price of the Fight the Good Fight in the Capital Wasteland content is currently 750 credits, which actually works out to be £5.79, or just under $8. Now, in my personal opinion, I think this is a bit overpriced for what you actually get within this content. Although, when I first heard about all this content surrounding Fallout 3, I definitely feared for the worst, expecting a price around £10 to £16 or maybe even over for this content. So with that, it definitely isn't too bad when it comes down to pricing. It absolutely could have been a lot worse, looking at some of Bethesda's recent microtransactions. But looking at what you actually get here within this content, as a consumer, it definitely could have been a little cheaper, and I'll get into why a little later. So starting this quest line, we must first travel to Lion Pier Parking, where we will find the body of a mercenary under the name of Sparrow, to which you can find a note on her person which explains that Sparrow was a part of a group based in Washington, DC, under the name of the Good Fighters, which is of course a callback to Three Dogs campaign and message to the wastes of Washington, DC, to always fight the good fight. Anyway, we are told that the Brotherhood / Lion's Pride forces are scattered throughout the wasteland, and that the Good Fighters, who now protect the GNR Plaza, are requesting any and all help from the Gunners in Boston. So following that, we will then travel on a vertibird to this iconic location, to which when we arrive, the mood is instantly switched. As you look out onto the distance of this remastered location, you can see a glimpse of what a fully realized Fallout 3 remaster could look like. And nearing the end of all of this experience, all I wanted to do was explore the rest of Washington, DC, to which, as you can see, I tried my damnedest to glitch through this location and see how far this remastered area goes, and if there were any hints of more to come. Unfortunately, the level is pretty heavily guarded off, so I couldn't glitch my way through the area and find anything else. But while looking around, the nostalgia of this location and atmosphere slaps you in the face. As soon as you start to walk around, the Fallout 3 official soundtrack starts playing, and it instantly took me back. So returning to this scene, the battle against the Talon Company, an infamous gang from Fallout 3, start to attack from all sides. Now the quest itself is pretty lackluster. Depending on what difficulty you are playing on, these guys on a harder difficulty or survival mode can take you out pretty easily and put up a good fight. But any easier than this, you can actually wipe these guys out without even really breaking a sweat. To which at the end of this you will then face a legendary / boss type enemy, to which you then disable the broadcast that the Talon Company had put out throughout the wasteland, and that's pretty much it for the actual quest. All in all, this quest can take anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, again depending on the difficulty you are playing on. Again, pretty lackluster if you ask me. But for me personally, I spent just over an hour combing through this remastered plaza, trying to find every piece of information or content I could possibly find. So of course, with this content, we can actually find 8 new outfits / armor sets, all based around the original concept art from Fallout 3. And seeing them all throughout Fallout 4's engine really look great and fully realized, and overall just a lot more realistic than previous iterations, including one special outfit which I will mention at the end. Now, without actually purchasing the weapon pack within Creation Club, there are, from what I found, no new weapons from the base game of Fallout 3. And with that, I found that a bit annoying. Seeing as we are officially in the GNR Plaza, it would have been great to see some iconic weapons, or at least a one-off weapon we can only get while we are here in DC. Now, moving on, as well as showing you what's available within this content, I also want to share with you all what I believe the modders over at Creation Club could have added to this experience to make it a much more fulfilling DC experience. Now, while you explore this location, you can actually come across various holotapes and pieces of information regarding this good fight group. But to be honest, I didn't really care for this, and I'll explain why. Now, while I understand that you have to in ways humanize these no-named NPCs, but reading through their dialogue and stories felt a bit pointless to me, as I quickly realized that none of these holotapes even talk about the world that they are in, the capital wasteland. No mention of the fate of Three Dog, no mention of the state of Washington DC after the events of Fallout 3, which is a huge missed opportunity in my eyes. Seeing as Fallout 4 takes place years after Fallout 3, I wanted to discover what happened after the events of Fallout 3. How has the capital wasteland changed, etc, etc, and how on earth can you explore the iconic home of our favorite disc jockey, Three Dog, and not even mention what happened to him, how he passed, or how he inspired this new Good Fighter faction. Now, following that, we discover that the GNR Plaza has been taken over by someone else after the fate of Three Dog, by a one Phil Goodman, which I can only assume is a take on Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad, which we can actually find dead in the main studio tower where Three Dog once stood. And I'm not gonna lie, walking up those stairs again for a brief second, I was honestly expecting the man to show up again. But again, another missed opportunity was to be able to actually speak to the man who now runs GNR. It would have been cool to hear how he runs things now, and his relationship with Galaxy News Radio, and how he became the new owner of said establishment. Now, speaking of Galaxy News Radio, another giant improvement for the immersion of this content, which I'm surprised they never bothered to include, was the option to actually be able to, whilst in this location, tune in to Galaxy News Radio. Even if it was a rerun of Fallout 3's original GNR station with familiar songs and stories, and again with this location and the actual radio station, the nostalgia again would have slapped me across the face, especially seeing as Bethesda still do hold the rights regarding the soundtrack and all voiceover from Fallout 3. So again, this was a huge missed opportunity for this Creation Club content. Now, there are a few more things included within this content that I'd like to mention. One being, whilst you search the inside of the plaza, you'll find a mural of artwork containing the real-world concept artwork for Fallout 3, which is a really nice touch, as this is a tribute to the amazing concept artist Adam Owinski, who worked on Fallout 3, Skyrim, and lastly Fallout 4, who sadly died of cancer back in February 2012. His vision for Fallout 4 was still used in Bethesda's development of the Commonwealth, although he never got to see his vision come to life. This was an amazing touch to add. Now, once you finish this quest, you can actually go around and recruit some of these good fighters to become active settlers within your communities throughout Fallout 4. Again, apart from this, there is not much left within this location. The NPCs just cycle the same few lines of dialogue. Again, no mention of the world beyond this location. Now, lastly, I did want to mention something I found at the very end of this experience. Now, as you walk through the main broadcast room where 3Dog once was, if you head over to the chest of drawers, you can find an outfit by the name of DJ Outfit and a pair of sunglasses, which of course is the outfit of our favorite radio disc jockey, 3Dog. That's me, kids, coming to you loud and proud out of a DC hellhole. Ain't life grand. So yes, you can find 3Dog's outfit within GNR, which again looks amazing in Fallout 4's engine. Apart from one little note that you actually need a white beanie, not a grey one. But that's absolutely fine, it still looks great. And with that, that's kind of it for this Creation Club content. Now for the big question. Is it actually worth its asking price? Now, while I did enjoy this brief look back at this iconic location, all fully realized and fully remastered, I don't, however, think it's worth £5. As I've stated, there is a lot more they could have added to enhance this overall experience. And while it's not asking for a huge amount, unless you have the urge to see this remastered location for nostalgia's sake, I would skip this one or just wait for it either to drop in price or become free later on. That's my advice for this Creation Club content. So what do you guys think? Do you agree this could have been better, or are you happy with this brief look back into GNR? Let me know in the comments down below. Best ones get featured in the credits of these videos, and if you liked this video, hit that on that like and subscribe button, and as always, have you guys and gals ever seen a tree? No, not one of those shriveled black things. I'm talking green leaves, brown bark, photosynthesis, all that good stuff.